This is a key to topic 20, and that's on radicals chapter, and this is called Extra 6. And remember, this is the one where you had to work problems that dealt with rational exponents. So you like one third, one fourth, one third, one half, and so on. So notice though, um, this particular one is an easy kind because the numerator of that rational exponent is 1. So just remember our rule. So one of our properties was this, just to remind you. One of them was that if you have the, let's say the b root, I'm going to use b, the b root of 1 divided by a, then you can always rewrite this expression that has a rational exponent, notice the numerator is 1, as the a root of b. So this base becomes your radicand, and the denominator of your exponent is your index. Okay, so when we do number 1, so here's number 1. So number 1, we have 343 to the 1/3 power. Well, remember the direction says this, and you must follow directions. Direction says rewrite each of the following as a radical expression. So hence, you have to do radical expression. Then you give me the answer when it's simplified. Okay? All right. So 343 to the 1/3 as a radical expression. So this would be your radical expression. Remember, the denominator of the exponent is your index. So it becomes the cube root of 343. So there's your radical expression. And then if you don't remember, and sometimes these numbers, the cube roots are a little bit more difficult to deal with. So if you don't remember, and you have access to a calculator, just take the cube root. So 3, remember cube root 3, and then remember how to do that. And then 343, and then equals, and then you get 7. And it kind of makes sense, right? Because 7 times 7 times 7 is 343. So 7 raised to the 3rd power is 343. So always check yourself. It's pretty easy to check yourself with radicals, with a lot of stuff that we do with radicals. Okay, number 2. Number 2, you have y to the 16th raised to the 1/4 power. All right, so again, I'm going to change this to radical. And so remember, this is 1/4, so the numerator is 1, so that's the easy kind. All right, so it transforms just to this. So the denominator is your index, and so this would be your base. Your base would become your radicand. And so this becomes the 4th root of y to the 16th. And then from previous lessons, we know we can simplify this pretty easy because think, 16 is divisible by 4, right? So what times itself 4 times is y to the 16th? Well, the answer is y to the 4th. Okay, 16 divided by 4 is 4. So y to the 4th times itself 4 times is y to the 16th. Number 3, we have 27, x to the 6th, y to the 9th, raised to 1/3. So again, changing this to a radical expression. So the denominator is your index, so it's going to be cube root. And then this is going to be your radicand. So it'll be 27, x to the 6th, y to the 9th. And then this is easy now because the cube root of 27 is 3. Because 3 times 3 times 3 is 27. You did not need your calculator with that. 6 is divisible by 3, so 6 divided by 3 is 2. So the cube root of x to the 6, remember this is what you're doing. So you're kind of, now remember, this is all I needed. It did say no work is necessary, but if you needed to do the work, this is what you would say right here. This would be your work. You would say the cube root of 27 times the cube root of x to the 6. Remember, you can always rewrite a radical expression as the radical expression where the radicands are products as a product of each factor. So this would be the cube root times the cube root of y to the 9th. And so the cube root of x to the 6, 6 divided by 3 is 2, so it becomes x squared. And that makes sense because x squared times itself 3 times is x to the 6. And then the cube root of y to the 9th is y cubed. All right. Number 4, you have 8 divided by 27 raised to the 1/3 power. So again, you're changing this to radical notation. You'd say the cube root of 8 divided by 27. And then using the quotient property for radicals, you'd say the cube root of 8 is 2. because 2 times 2 times 2 is 8. And the cube root of 27 we just saw right here is 3. So there's your answer there. And then finally, whoops, I'm kind of missing a problem here. So it was number 1, number 2, number 3. Oh, okay. So this right here, sorry guys, was actually number 5, and this right here is going to be number 4. I missed number 4. So here's number 4. Number 4, you have 81 x to the 6 raised to the 1/3. So that's going to be the cube root of 81 x to the 6. Okay. So there's your radical notation. So that would go here in this blank here, and then your simplification, your answer, the cube root of 81. What times itself 3 times is 81? Well, if you don't remember, just use your calculator. So do cube root 81. Press equal. Oops. I'm sorry, that's 1/2. I keep messing this up, don't I? 1/2. So the cube root of 81 is not a nice number. So notice the cube root of 81 is not a whole number. All right. So be careful. So that's 1/2. Excuse me. So it'll be the square root. So you just say square root. Don't put the 2 there. It's understood to be a square root. So leave the 2 off. So 81 x to the 6. So the square root of 81 is 9. Because 9 times 9 is 81. And the square root of x to the 6, 6 divided by the index 2 is 3. So you get x cubed. And then number 6, I'll make sure I write down the rational expressions correct. The rational exponents. So I get 9x squared divided by 16y to the 4th, all raised to the 1/2. All right, so this is 1/2. I double checked. So then that's going to become the square root of 9x squared divided by 16y to the 4th, right? And then remember, so these are all nice expressions here because the square root of 9 is 3, the square root of 16 is 4. These are even, my index is even. So those are that's going to be an easy answer to come up with. So the square root of 9, now using the quotient rule for radicals, you do the numerator first, then the denominator. So the square root of the numerator, square root of the denominator. So the square root of 9 is 3. The square root of x squared is x. The square root of 16 is 4. And the square root of y to the 4th is y squared, because 4 divided by 2 is 2. That's a 4 right here. Okay? All right, so that is the key to topic 20 on radicals. And those are worksheet number 6.